Live here at the Sport Automatic Coliseum, this is the UAAP Season 87, Stronger, Better, Together. Men's Collegiate Division Final Four is the number 2 seed UP Fighting Maroons versus the number 3 seed UST Grownling Tigers. The Fighting Maroons have the twice to beat advantage. Let's meet our starters. Starting for the UP Fighting Maroons at guard number 12, JD Cagulangan. The other guard number 19, Cherry Abadiano. At center number 42, Quinton Meliora Brown. Forward number 2, Raylan Torres. And the other forward number 17, Francis Lopez. The head coach of the Fighting Maroons is Goldwyn Monteverde. Starting for the UST Grownling Tigers. At guard number 11, Ford Padrigao. The other guard number 12, Ice Dunding. At center number 36, Mo Tongkara. Forward number 4, Christian Manaytay. And the other forward number 9, Nick Caballero. The head coach of the Grownling Tigers is Pino Harencio. Our referees this ball game, Molly DeLuna, Clarence Cizon, John De Maramillo, and the reserve, Jaime Jimenez.
Let's check out the starters for the UP Fighting Maroons. Cagulangan, Abadiano, Torres, Lopez, and Meliora Brown. And for the UST Grownling Tigers, you have Padrigao, Danting, Caballero, Manaytay, and Mo Tongkara. This first five was brought to you by Atram. Together, we can change the game. Our officials, our referees for this one, De Luna, Cizon, and Jaramillo. We're just about to begin the first Final Four matchup here inside the Smart Planeta Coliseum. We'd like to thank everyone again for joining us on One Sports, on the UAAP Varsity Channel, and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco with Jet Manuel, Cheska Ramos, and Jersey Zolreta at the sidelines. Here we go. The matchup between the number 2 seed UP Fighting Maroons and the number 3 UST Grownling Tigers. Jet, there's a bit of history here from 5 years ago. The last time UST was in the Final Four, they also faced UP.
I mean, storied matchup for these two guys, for these two teams. No strangers to the Final Four. UP, of course, like we mentioned, has been there the past 4 years. Now UST back again with Coach Pino Harencio at the helm. A couple of players who have experience, such as Padrigao in this Final Four. Let's see how they play this out.
Well, Caballero has waited for this moment on his 4th playing year, finally making it to the Final Four. His first shot was a miss, and rebound by the Fighting Maroons.
It was interesting, the starting five for UST. Danting is in the game, and he's picking up JD Cagulangan straight away. Full court man-to-man pressure.
Well, Lopez missing that one. So both shots of UP not falling. And you mentioned Ice Danting in 9 appearances for Coach Pino Harencio. 8 of those he started. So there's a lot of trust there on the rookie. There's a foul called as we send this to Cheska Ramos from UP. Cheska?
Dip and Jet, Quinton Meliora Brown is stepping into his first Final Four game here in the UAAP with a mix of excitement and determination. And the energy in the arena will surely be intense all throughout the ball game. But for QMB, it's all about staying locked in and focused. Q shared his thoughts saying, "We're focused on everything the coaches have asked us to do and ready for whatever comes our way." And surely we are excited, but we know it's about not letting the nerves unsettle us. With this mindset, QMB and the Fighting Maroons are ready to rise to the challenge and keeping their eyes on the prize. Watch this game on any device in the Philippines or abroad on the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now. Now back to you, Dip and Chat.
Thank you, Cheska, for that report. QMB, one of those guys who are also making his debut here in this stage. The one and done for the Fighting Maroons, both teams. Still looking for their first field goal. UST with a point off of the free throw. And a miss there by Danting. Rebound by QMB.
Well, UST with a lot of activity. You can see crashing the offensive glass. 2 extra possessions there. UP has to keep an eye out for that.
That free throw a while ago was made by Padrigao. He split that one. A miss by Torres, so still cold here, the Fighting Maroons.
Well, both teams actually, you know. I mean, I'll be the first to say I don't know anything about playing in the UAP Final Four. But it's, from what I know, it's totally different from the elimination round. A lot of nerves creep in.
And there you go, the first basket. Go-ahead pass by Kagulangan to Raylan Torres for the first 2 points. That is our Hoops All-Pro play brought to you by Puma.
And those are the shots that you need. Let's see the field goals here. First field goal for UP, none yet for UST.
And Jet, maganda na pinangunahan mo yun, yung sinabi mo about the Final Four. We'll go back to that topic later on, but we sent this to Jersey Zulueta of UST. Go ahead, Jersey.
Dip and Jet, as the Groundling Tigers step foot into the court today, it just feels like deja vu as they find themselves fighting in the same spot they fought for 5 years ago. Well, for Kortsky Padrigao, it's also familiar territory. With his experience in the Final Four, he embraces his role as a leader. He told me that I want to keep the team level-headed and focused on the little things. Being bigger than the moment is crucial because we can't let the atmosphere consume us. Now, while fully aware of UP's experience, Kortsky views it as a challenge that fuels their excitement. So now today, the Tigers are ready to rise and fight with heart. Thank you to Skechers, the official broadcast here of the UAAP Season 87 Men's Basketball. Now back to you, Dip and Jet.
Thank you, Jersey, for that report. Well, the UST Groundling Tigers, high energy to start this one. And that's what they need to keep up with the Fighting Maroons who have been here for the past few seasons.
But you have players and experience on that coaching staff for UST. Padrigao also in that possession forcing Francis Lopez to take that three instead of allowing that extra pass to a shooter on the other side.
You would expect UST to guard Francis Lopez, who played well in that round 2 game. He was the player of the game. And he had 20 points. Continues to misfire. That lands in the hands of Torres and safely gives it up to Kagulangan. Shot clock winding down to 5. JD pulls up from deep. Nothing there. And a slow start for both teams. Caballero attacks and scores. That is our KFC bucket of the quarter. KFC, it's finger licking good.
And Nick Caballero with his first 2 points. He's already taken 3 shots. You can see how aggressive he is offensively. He wants to take charge of this UST slump on offense.
He knows what it's like at the bottom of the standings for the past 3 seasons. This season, 87, UST with a total of 7 wins in the elimination round, more than the past 3 seasons combined, which was at 6.
Nick Caballero not afraid of QMB inside, challenging, smiling after making that tough bucket.
Danting will head to the bench. And it will be Mark Clement replacing him. So fresh 14 for UP on a baseline inbound. JD guarded by a taller Lemit. He gives it up to Torres. They go left side. Cortea knocks down the triple. This 3-point shot is brought to you by Yamaha Mio Gear. Play your tough.
Last person on that UP squad that you want to leave wide open, Terence Fortea. 1 for 1, the 3-point man.
And Fortea also coming off a great game against UST in round 2 where he had 4 threes in that match. Lopez continues to be aggressive, looking for his first points as he bounced forward with this rebound from AIA. AIA with you wherever life goes.
Now, this is going to be interesting for both teams. Talk about the story of both teams a while ago. Now them playing against each other. These are the top 2 offensive teams that we have in the UAAP. UP, number 1 in field goal, number 1 in fast break. Their ability to run and push that pace has brought them to this position. And UST, just a step behind, number 2 in fast break points, led by, of course, Nick Caballero and that UST squad.
And you can see the pace very quick. KFC, it's finger licking good. Lopez splits his free throws, but good enough for a 3-point lead for the Fighting Maroons. As we have 5 minutes and 30 remaining in the first quarter, there's a whistle and a foul called on Terence Fortea.
Couple of unwanted fouls, away from the basket. No offensive movement. And fouling the ball handler. That's, you saw JD Cagulangan. That's not what you want, especially in this Final Four period.
Padrigao adds possession. Manaytay guarded by a bigger QMB. Manaytay unfazed by the taller defender, and he draws a foul in the process.
Manaytay, one of those players that you give the ball in the post, you know something good's gonna happen. You give the ball in that flex position up top, he knows what to do, and he has the handles to get to the rim, trying to beat QMB on a one-on-one situation.
KFC, its finger licking good. But that free throw wasn't. And Manaytay has one more to shoot on his final playing year here in the UAAP.
Again, we have to mention, if UP wins this game, they're moving on to their 4th straight finals appearance. UST needs to win to keep their season alive, because UP has that twice-to-beat advantage.
And hopefully do the same thing they did in season 82 and force a game 2. Right now, it's the Fighting Maroons ahead by 3 points.
There's also someone checking in for Manaytay, trying to protect Manaytay from his second foul. It's tough defending the bigs of UP.
Yeah. They draw a lot of fouls from their opponents. Cagulangan bothered by Lemit, but it's still with UP. And they have 10 on the shot clock. Torres. Pass inside. QMB on the reverse. It's short.
Oh,
but he gets the ball back. And there's a foul on that attempt.
A little bit of a miscommunication on the side of UST. Crisostomo and Caballero both battling for that same rebound. Good block here though by Lemit. Emphasis to reach over JD Cagulangan and still reach that ball.
We'll take this time out. We'll be back here after the break.
Araneta, say hello and flex your McCafe body. Let's go louder. Say hi, you guys. Look at that. No rivalry, just a perfect blend. This is brought to you by McCafe. Let's go, España. Let's go, Katipunan.
Back inside the Big Dome for your UAAP Season 87 Men's Basketball Final Four. It's the game between the UP Fighting Maroons and the UST Grownling Tigers. Meliora Brown drew a foul before the break, but misses the first free throw. QMB averaging 61.8% from the charity stripe. Splits it for his first point of the game. As we are halfway through the first quarter, Gani Stevens makes his first appearance. Playing his first Final Four as well.
Not the best start for UST offensively, but maybe that timeout will give them a little bit of breathing room to find some good shots just like this one.
Right on cue as Jello Crisostomo cuts the lead down to 2 points. So it's Caballero and Crisostomo with those shots. Padrigao had that free throw for their first point. Lopez throws the ball away.
Gotta credit the defense of UST there, getting back as fast as they can. But here, Nick Campañero going to the post and finding his open teammate.
And this play of the quarter is brought to you by Pharmanon Energy Plus, powered by Ginseng and 40 multivitamins to boost your energy. Harold Alarcon, fresh from his career game against UE.
Checking in right on time, midway through the first. He's the bona fide sixth man of UP.
2-point game, Caballero backing down. banging bodies against Alarcon. Back rims. Lopez skies for the board. And back the other way we go. Quick shot, quick trigger. In and out for Alarcon. And you know he still has that confidence, that green light from his 33-point output.
I mean, if you score 33 points, you're going to come out guns a-blazing that next game. I wouldn't wash my hands. I wouldn't take a shower. I'm just gonna wear my jersey and wait until I step on the bus for the next game.
Parang medyo matagal ata yun nung November 20. 10 days.
Pare, 33 points yun.
Kung matitiis mo, sige, as Mo Tongkara on the foul and the finish. Our PS Bankable assist of the half. Ibang klaseng assist to boost your business with PS Bank SME loan. Apply at any PS Bank branch. Look at him go. The feed from Kyle Paranada.
Couple of guys off the bench providing some spark, especially in that USD side. Paranada, not a stranger to exploding anytime he steps on that floor. This time though, finding Tongkara, getting him going for Tongkara's first 2 points in this ball game.
Tied game, chance for UST to take the lead. Tongkara misses. Crisostomo with the offensive board, and a second chance here for the Grownling Tigers. Lemon attacks. Ball slips, but he was fouled on his way up.
And you can see the dismay on that UP bench, the coaching staff. Can't give up offensive rebounds, especially on free throws.
Bounce forward with this rebound from AIA. AIA with you wherever life goes. That's Jello Crisostomo's role for the Grownling Tigers. Do the dirty work. Clean up those misses and limit. Oh, that one rattles out. So UST still tied here with UP at 7 apiece.
Just like that, UST coming back into this game. It was 7-3 when we started off that timeout. 4 straight points by UST.
Oh, but they haven't converted on those free throws, which would have given them the lead already. They are shooting 1 out of 7 from the free throw line, Jet.
The story, it will become a story for this game if this continues, especially for UST. They've gotten to the line 7 times from how aggressive they are, but if they can't convert, that's a different story in itself.
And in a game like this where you could go home after 1 game losing, you need all the points you can get. Fortea off the bench, scored a 3 a while ago, hands it off to Kagulangan. 5 to shoot for UP. JD running out of time, puts it up. Belmonte getting up there, but it ends up with Tongkara. And look at the big man dribbling against a smaller guy in Kagulangan. Here comes Kyle. There was a push. And he will head to the line for 2 more free throws.
That all stemmed from Mo Tongkara being able to bring the ball down. JD Kagulangan picking him up, leaving his original man, Kyle Paranada. And when the ball was moved, Paranada just took advantage and attacked JD Kagulangan, going straight to the rim.
Now, how big has Mo Tongkara been for UST in this season? You can see that the big guy bringing down the ball, their FSA acting as a point guard in that situation as Paranada gets the first.
I mean, he's a huge part. I mean, it's mythical 5. Him and Nick Cabanero, their impact on this team has been phenomenal. And like you mentioned, he's shown all his skills throughout the season. At first, we didn't know what he could do. He showed his athleticism in the first few games. He showed he could shoot the rock. And now, he's here.
Paranada makes both. Tongkara heading to the bench. A 2-point lead for UST. And we already have 4 league changes after 7 minutes of play. Stevens couldn't give it to Alarcon. Fortea has it. 1-on-1 against Estacio. Fortea, fall away shot. Doesn't get it. Stevens with the offensive rebound. And will shoot 2 free throws.
Stevens taking advantage of Mo Tongkara heading to the bench. You have Manaytay now and Crisostomo as bigs. You see here that tough shot by Fortea. There it is. Stevens just flying over everybody to take that rebound away.
That's 2 fouls on Jello Crisostomo. Stevens couldn't convert on the first. Danny Stevens playing his first season with the Fighting Maroons after transferring from UE. And on the other side of the court, Kyle Paranada also was a former Red Warrior who is playing his first Final Four. Eco Laure makes his first appearance. Timeout called here by the UST Grownling Tigers. They're up by 1. Score is 9-8. Here's our Chicken Joy's Fans of the Quarter, brought to you by Jollibee Chicken Joy. The crowd from España. They missed this feeling being in the Final Four as we see Mo Tongkara and the rest of the players for the Grownling Tigers on the bench. They're up by a single point. Manaytay too strong on that jumper. Long rebound ends up with Alarcon, who speeds up. Alarcon with a getaway. And he is hacked on that layup. Alarcon was hit hard on that drive to the hoop. He's holding on to his right side of his head.
You see UP after that stop, grabbing the rebound, going straight, flying straight down the court with Harold Alarcon leading that break.
So it was a regular foul called on a UST player. I think that was Manaytay on the getaway by Alarcon.
There's those playoff fouls. Expect a lot of contact, a lot of physicality. In this Final Four setting.
Nothing easy will be given here at this stage of the season as Alarcon gets his first free throw and his first point coming off the bench for Coach Goldwyn Monteverde. 2 out of 2 for Alarcon, and he gets the lead back for the Fighting Maroons.
You see UP setting up now their version of a 1-2-2 full court press, trying to switch things up, force UST to see something different and react and respond.
Rookie Jacob Baila also in the game for UP. Paranada. Kyle gives it up to Lemit. Shot clock winding down, it reads 5. Lemit couldn't find an opening, strip by Felicilda. It's a track race. Felicilda all the way for 2. That is our Hyundai Stargazer. Let the future move you.
Jan Felicilda, the most dangerous in that open court. He knows what to do and how to score, especially on that fast break.
That's a good matchup right there between Felicilda and Paranada, but Kyle missing on the jumper. UP looking to capitalize, increase the lead further. Lopez fakes. Thought about the 3. Felicilda doesn't. No hesitation, but came up short. A minute and 21 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Manaytay called for a travel.
That is classic knowledge, knowing the pivot, the pivot foot.
Yeah.
You know, Manaytay caught the ball. His right foot was his pivot foot, shifting to the left foot. Good jobs by the officials catching that one.
They've been very consistent with that call this season. Baila for 3. It's short. There's a whistle and some action underneath the basket. It will be on Eco Laure against the bigger Danny Stevens.
Coach Pedro, with his face of dismay. They had that rebound, but Laure trying to secure it a little bit too much against Danny Stevens.
Stevens back at the free throw line where he shot 1 out of 2 a while ago. But it's been a low-scoring first quarter, Jet. Who favors this type of game? I mean, both teams shooting pretty much the same. Under 20% for UP. UST a little over just 20% in the first quarter.
Well, if you ask me who's going to favor from this, UP has the most composure, especially in this Final Four setting. If it comes down to a close game, they have that advantage of experience that UST doesn't really have right now. And UST has been missing a lot of free throws, creating this deficit that they have so far.
Eustacio, under a minute left to play. Paranada has some space. The flyby. Felicilda gets away, and Paranada knocks down the triple.
You got the ice in his veins. Kyle Paranada calmly faking and then taking that open one.
Oh, good defensive stop by Manaytay on Lopez.
No, Manaytay now has 2 fouls in this first quarter, and he's got that task of guarding Francis Lopez. But look at this pass. Look at that fly-by shot fake, calmly stepping in. That's the microwave that UST has on their bench.
Lopez has all day, and he makes them pay. An answer on the other end for a 4-point lead. And there's a 6-second differential between game and shot clock. Cabanero is guarded by Baila. Nick attacks and scores. Lead down to 2.
Talk about a bucket getter. Oh my gosh.
Nick Lopez Cabanero. Heat check. Toncada with a rebound, and they won't be able to get it off on time. That almost went in for Eustacio, but from a very slow start in this first quarter, both teams going fast to end the first 10 minutes, and the score is 16-14 in favor of the Fighting Maroons. Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights that happened there. This play is brought to you by Motolite, Pangmata Gala, and the three-pointer by Francis Lopez. The response to that Kyle Paranada 3. And we'll be back with a second quarter after this break.
What's up, UAAP fans? It's time to find our Nissin Cup man. We've got our 2 contenders here today, Kiara from UP and Francis from UST. Let's see who's quicker on their feet. First one to tap me gets to answer. Okay, let's take a look at the Jumbotron. Where is Nissin Cup man? Where is he? Where? Baka nag-CR. Wala. Where is it? Okay, Francis, tap me first. Where is the Nissin Cup man?
Section 207.
That is correct. Section 207. Congratulations, Francis. And a runner-up gets a prize as well. Good job, Kiara. This was brought to you by Nissin Cup Noodles, the official cup noodles of the UAAP Season 87 basketball.
Start of the second quarter.
We begin the second quarter between the UP Fighting Maroons and the UST Grownling Tigers here on One Sports on the UAP Varsity Channel and on Pilipinas Live. Wild shot attempt from Harold Alarcon. And a score. UP up by 2 after the first 10 minutes. Jet, I wanted to ask you, do you think that long break, you would say, you mentioned UP 10 days before since their last game, UST having a longer break, do you think that was a factor to how this game started off? Init ng laro, cool ka lang with Sprite.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anytime you have a break, momentum cuts off a little bit. Gotta get that timing in. But, you know, you still have to mention, entering Final Four settings, if you're no stranger to the Final Four, you know what to expect. You know how to mentally prepare. You can put yourself in these situations to perform better when the game and the lights come on. I mean, these two teams, again, you have the coaching staff for UST, you have the experience for the players for UP. That first half of that first quarter, you saw a little bit of a lack of timing, a little bit of a jitteriness. But now, when they got their rhythm going, they went full out.
Oh, let's get this report first from Cheska Ramos for UP. Cheska.
Dip and Jet, Janjan Felicilda has always been a fighter on the court, embodying resilience and determination. When I asked how he wants to be remembered as a player, he said, gusto ko, pag sinabi nila Janjan Felicilda, palaban yan, di sumusuko yan. Despite acknowledging that his height might not measure up to other players, he believes that his heart and passion for basketball make up for it. Janjan has consistently proven that it's not about height, but about the grit and the will to persevere no matter the odds. Continue watching the UAAP because legends start here. Now back to you, Dip and Jen.
Thank you, Cheska, for that report. Felicilda missing that jumper, but his toughness and how he plays on the court makes up for that lack of fight, as Cheska mentioned.
And he's going to have a bigger role right now, stepping back into the game once again, because JD Cagulangan just picked up his second foul guarding Nick Cabanero. So a lot of weight now on Janjan Felicilda's shoulders as a point guard for UP.
Alarcon had to kick it out. Lopez hit one a while ago in the same spot. This time hits nothing but the board. Asido is now on the floor as we get this report from Jersey Zulueta. Go ahead, Jersey.
Dip and Jet, chemistry, communication, and for everyone to be together. For Motongkara, these are the key ingredients that the Groundling Tigers need to add in their mix so that they can get the momentum on the side of the black and gold. Now today's match is all about focus, as Motongkara told me that today we're going to play intentionally, even to the tiniest details from the instructions of the coaches and from his teammates. Now with a locked-in mindset, they carry with them what has been emphasized by the coaches, and that is to play together, play hard, and play smart. Continue to watch all the action here in the UAAP because legends start here. Now back to you, Dip and Jet.
Thank you, Jersey, for that report. Well, right now, momentum on the side of UST swinging back and forth. There have been 6 lead changes already, 2 minutes into the second quarter.
This is what we can expect from a UST-UP Final Four match.
Lopez decides to attack. Finds an opening and a scoop to the hoop.
Taking advantage of the slower Manaytay on that one.
This smart move is brought to you by Smart.
Francis Lopez very aggressive. 2 out of 8. 8 field goal tries now at this point in the ball game.
Our third deadlock of the game. 18-all Manaytay for 3. This 3-point shot is brought to you by Yamaha Mio Gear. Play your tough.
That's Manaytay answering back. You can get 2 in the rim. I can get 3 from out here.
The luxury of a stretch big guy for UST. QMB backing down against Tongkara. Meliora Brown back rims it. Another try. And he is fouled on that attempt.
You know, QMB was forced to go 1-on-1. You see UST not doubling QMB when he goes 1-on-1 against Mo Tongkara. You know, in that case, Tongkara had great defense to start, just couldn't secure that rebound, and QMB taking advantage, heading to the line.
Meliora Brown also had a trip to the line in the first quarter where he shot 1 out of 2. This time gets his first attempt.
You know, QMB now has 8 rebounds at this point of the ball game. 8 rebounds.
KFC, its finger licking good. Knocks down both. Three minutes gone by in the second. Tongkara. The half spin. Overcooks the jumper. And Torres has possession. Looking inside. Decides to go cross court. They swing it. Lopez. Back to Torres. Rayland. Oh, he was chipped. And Cabanero will be called for the foul. And that's going to be his second personal foul. So a number of guys for UST have 2 fouls each, namely Tongkara, Crisostomo, Cabanero, and Manaytay.
And those are all big names for what they who they want, especially in that end game. We have to keep an eye out on that one. The UST now in the 2-3 zone off that baseline inbound, switching things up.
Torres has 2 to shoot. He has to fire, and he knocks it down.
And when all else fails, talent will prevail. As you see there, Torres with the shot clock winding down, just jacking up a 3 and knocking it down.
Another whistle, a foul before the drive by Nick Caballero, and it looks like it's going to be called on Jacob Baila. Let's check out this play a while ago from Raylan Torres. Here's our Chicken Joyous fans of the quarter, brought to you by Jollibee Chicken Joy. They're pumped up after that triple by Torres. Tongkara puts it up. It's short. Oh, that big rebound from Torres.
And look at UP run the floor again.
And Lopez ahead of the pack.
Coming from that defensive stop, defensive rebound, outlet passes as quick as they can. Francis Lopez, the best finisher in the league.
Good contest by Francis Lopez. He's got 8 points.
Oh, wow.
That's
a second foul on Nick Caballero.
No, it will be his third, if ever, as we bounce forward with this rebound from AIA. AIA with you wherever life goes. And this is our Hoops All-Pro play brought to you by Puma.
Look at Francis Lopez just sitting down, reading the defense while he's in the air. But again, you know, the stoppage here is because of Nick Caballero with his 3rd foul in this second period.
Mark Belmonte checks back in.
You see UST trying to get Nick Caballero out.
He will stay for this possession. He's got 3 personal fouls after that. So he will have to be careful in this possession. Belmonte looking for a teammate. Oh, the quick passing, and they find Belmonte for 2. That is our PS Bankable assist of the half. Get an assist that you don't want to miss. Auto loan decision in just 24 hours. Apply na. Emil Asido has found the range here late in the season.
Back and forth we go. UST again dropping down to that 2-3 zone. Oh, fouling again. Oh, 3rd foul now. As you look at this replay though of that foul on Nick Caballero.
Init ng laro, cool ka lang with Sprite. And that was also Manaytay's 3rd personal foul. 2 guys in danger. And a timeout called here. We'll be back after this.
Hey, UAAP fans, it's time for the Oreo Bestie Cam. Give me your best bestie pose and show off that bestie bond. Go, guys! Yeah! Louder!
Two free throws coming up for Jacob Baila. So we mentioned the guys in foul trouble for UST. Caballero and Manaytay, both with 3 fouls each. For UP, if you're wondering, Jerry Abadiano picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter.
He played 2 minutes and 11 seconds and picked up 2 fouls in that first quarter after starting this ball game. Wherever you see UP and the guys that have stepped up in his place, the second unit of UP has outperformed the second unit of UST so far in this ball game. That's resulted in them maintaining their lead back and forth with UST.
Both teams' benches actually contributing. Fortea has had to play extended minutes after replacing Abadiano. Asido hit a 3 a while ago. Pangilinan is in the game, and a quick 3 converted by Migs Pangilinan.
And you can see the fire, the passion in his eyes.
And you know why? Because he's the only guy remaining on this squad who was part of that season 82 team, and he knows exactly how this feels.
That's the experience that you see. Putting a vet like him on the floor, good things will always happen.
Tied game at 27-all. Shot clock winding down. Torres doesn't recognize it, had trouble, and UST forces a turnover.
And that's the team defense that UST needs. With their stars off the floor, these second unit guys have to stay strong defensively and keep UP from banging and getting more points on that board.
Approaching 4 minutes left in the first half. Paranada has also played well off the bench. Puts up a shot, it's short. Crisostomo, another rebound, and a second chance basket for UST.
That's just a pivot of UST. Crisostomo in the game, you know what he can give, you know how he can deliver in that time. Getting that rebound and just dropping it back in.
And Groundling Tigers back up by 2. Timeout for UP.
This is brought to you by MWell, the Philippines Health and Wellness Mega App. Kalusugan, ang puhunan, kaya mag-MWell. Download and register now.
Back inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum, the UST Groundling Tigers have gotten the lead back 29-27 on that 8-0 run.
Last minute and a half. And they looking to extend it this time. QMB had a good look inside, just failed to connect.
Sorry miss for him. Pangilinan, who just checked in, immediately making impact. Asido kicks it out. Pangilinan couldn't control. The dive by Belmonte. Ball is loose.
The body's on the floor. Felicilda touching the ball last.
And that's the type of effort you would expect from every player in this game as we bounce forward with this rebound from AIA. AIA with you wherever life goes. That was Crisostomo on the putback. Padrigao back on the floor after a while because the rest of the guards got a good start off the bench. We're talking about Paranada. Crisostomo. Back ribs. Pangilinan with another rebound. A redo for the Groundling Tigers. Unfortunately, couldn't get it. Tight defense played by Alarcon. He's being denied. Paranada. Deflected. Oh, gets the ball back and hits the jumper. That is our KFC bucket of the quarter. KFC, its finger licking good.
Kyle Paranada just hoisting it up there. Getting it to go down. He's got a hot hand so far.
Belmonte off to the right. Rebound by Crisostomo. It's a 4-point lead for UST. As we approach the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the first half.
Getting the ball to the hottest hand, excuse me, so far. Oh!
Well, QMB doing a good job getting in front of him.
Oh, and a foul was called as that pass was made to Asido.
And Kyle Paranada is now a marked man after those consecutive baskets.
I mean, how can you not be marked after this? Getting blocked, picking the ball up, fading away against QMB. Oh, Coach Pido Arencio likes what he's seeing.
I just want to point out it was Jan Filicilda who got that block. What a sequence. Timeout on the floor. UST up by 4. Back inside the big dome, we talked about the effect of Mo Tongkara for the Groundling Tigers.
I mean, this whole season, 14 points, 10 rebounds, averaging a double-double. Second leading scorer for UST. His ability to score, his ability to move around, and his ability to rebound and defend has led to UST to where they are at today.
Oh, they find Pangilinan off of that baseline inbound after the timeout, but it was partially deflected by Lopez. The UP gets a stop, a much needed with that UST run. Torres hounded by Padrigao, who is eager to get back in this game. Look at him. Sticking close, suffocating defense, but eventually called for the foul.
That's some pressure from Padrigao to Torres. You know, UP bailing out, got bailed out there because they had trouble running that offense because of the high pressure by Padrigao up top. Unfortunately, though, a little bit too eager.
Yep.
You see there.
And you would understand because he sat on the bench for a while. And not because he's in foul trouble, but because it's Kyle Paranada who has found his rhythm.
With Padrigao in display, though, you see how aggressive he is, trying to snap that ball away. Got a piece of the arm. But you mentioned it, Dip. Paranada and Padrigao now on the floor. However, Paranada from the bench, picking up where Padrigao left off, has scored 9 points so far in this game. And his offense, though, his ability to be a microwave has proven a lot of success for UST so far. And you talk about the other side, UP, JD Cagulangan is still on the bench because of foul trouble, and because of how good Jan Filicilda has come in. So these backup point guards are performing way better than they were throughout the elimination round so far.
A good point there. That's why if you're a second stringer, the backup point guard, you know you should be ready. And it's times like this one that you're needed. And Paranada is stepping up to the plate. Torres hit 2 free throws on the other end. Shot clock winding down. Paranada puts it up. Almost. Torres looking for a teammate. Lopez kicks it out. 3-pointer on the way is short for Alarcon, and Udodo gets his first basket of the game.
Well, coming off the bench, the big men now. Offensive rebound, putting it back in. First 2 points for Dodo.
Tied game at 31-all. Crisostomo comes away with a leather. A fresh 14 for UST. Padrigao wants to hurry. Ball is tapped. Crisostomo gets the reverse.
Second chance points have been the story for UST, and Crisostomo leading that charge.
This play of the half is brought to you by Nissan Cup Noodles, the official cup noodles of the UAAP men's basketball. Jello Crisostomo with 4 offensive rebounds in this game. And that will not count. There was a charging or an offensive foul called on UP.
It's a legal screen there, trying to get Baila a wide open lane, a little bit too eager on that play. 4 turnovers so far for UP and 2 for UST incoming the end of this first half.
Groundling Tigers are up by 2 points and a counter offensive foul called against UST. So there's, well, before that play, UST only had 2 turnovers. So even with that play, 3 is a good number for Coach Pido Arencio. As we get this timeout on the floor, we'll give you the final 37 seconds of the quarter after this. Alarcon, we mentioned his career high in that game against the UE Red Warriors. Sabi ni Jet, hindi dapat naligo or nagbihis si Harold Alarcon since then?
I mean, we're gonna have to find out. I'm pretty sure he did it after scoring his career high, waxing hot 33 points. I mean, if it were me lang, di ba? Pero Harold Alarcon, maraming fans yan. Pag nagpa-picture, dapat mabango siya.
Very fresh. As Udodo has scored 4 points here in the second quarter. This play is brought to you by Skechers. Another deadlock at 33 all. That is our 6th tied game. 8 seconds left for UST. Crisostomo has been a game changer here in the first half.
And that was off Kyle Paranada and that pick and roll, finding Crisostomo for an easy 2-point bucket inside.
It's the unlikely heroes who have been leading the UST Grownling Tigers so far. Kyle Paranada with 9, Jello Crisostomo with 8, and a 2-point lead for UST heading into the break. This play is brought to you by Motolite, Pangmata, Galan. Those two guys have been working hard. And it's halftime. We'll be back with the analysis and break down the first 20 minutes of the action right after this. Halftime inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum between the UP Fighting Maroons and the UST Grownling Tigers. The guys from España are up ahead by 2 points as we take a look at the numbers. And Jet, what happened there in the first 20 minutes that allowed UST to finish the first half with a 2-point advantage?
I mean, both teams had a rough start. You know, poor shooting, a little bit of nerves, but when they got settled in, you know, guns were blazing. These two high-octane teams have performed well offensively, 33-35, but UST inching out UP, shooting a little bit better from the field goal percentage. Rebounds are almost the same. However, it's a story of the bench. Kyle Paranada and Crisostomo coming off the bench with a couple of guys chipping in have proven good for UST against UP. But I think the key there is their turnovers. Look at the turnovers of UST against UP, who is the league-leading team in forcing turnovers. I bet you they made an emphasis to focus on controlling their turnovers. And this game has proven that so far. That's what's been able to give them that advantage against UP.
And Jet, despite that poor shooting that you mentioned at the start, this game didn't look ugly at all, right? It looked fluid, even though we saw a lot of misses. These teams are sharp here in this Final Four match as we take a look at the leading scores for both squads. For UP, Francis Lopez with 8, followed by Torres with 7. Udodo off the bench, those final minutes of the second quarter, he had 4. And then for UST, as you mentioned, Paranada, Crisostomo, and Manaytay, the guys leading the way.
What's up, UAAP fans? It's time to rev up and show your toughness with the Yamaha Flex Cam. Show us who's got the toughest moves out there. All right, more energy on the UP side of things. Let's check it out from UST. What's up, guys? Show your toughness with the Yamaha Flex Cam. All right, I'm back here on the UP side of things. We love that energy. Come on, let's go. That's perfect. Come on, show your toughness. Thanks for showing off your toughness with the Yamaha Flex Cam.
And happy birthday, of course, to Dean Kiko. Grabe. Birthday, nanonood ng UP game. You know, what could go wrong? And of course, Coach Bo Perasol. Happy birthday to him as well. You know, I greeted him on my phone when I saw his birthday, pero hindi pa siya nagre-respond. Nandito, I think he was too focused on preparing his team.
Very busy, of course, supporting the UP Fighting Maroons. And show your support by wearing your school spirit with the UAAP Special Edition Smartwatch by Mwell. Choose from 2 limited edition designs with extra strap for as low as 2,499 pesos. Available via the Mwell website and app. Get yours today, so you're moments away from the second half. And of course, a lot of stuff happening as well in the UAAP, not just basketball. There's a lot of sports. There's beach volleyball that is going on. UST extending their reign to 6 seasons in the men's division, and the women's side, NU getting their first title in women's beach volleyball, and also for their table tennis and taekwondo also happened a couple of weeks back. So this time we focus our attention on basketball inside the Big Dome. These two teams have that history back in season 82 where UST outlasted UP, made it to the finals, and that step ladder format. This season they met twice. In round 1, UP winning by 11. In round 2, UP winning by 10. But Coach Pido Harencio knows that this is a different ball game in the Final Four, Jet. For him, he understands it's a bit of a David versus Goliath, but they're up for the challenge.
They're definitely up for the challenge, and they've proven it so far. How they performed in that first half, grabbing that 2-point lead. Now it's gonna be a test. You know, in this Final Four, twice to beat advantage for UP. Now it's gonna be a test for UST. How hot can they keep their shooting in? How much more, how composed can they be to keep their turnovers down against UP? Because this third quarter is always dangerous if you're up against the University of the Philippines Fighting Maroons.
And some of the starters back on the floor: Kagulangan, Abadiano, Lopez, QMB, and Harold Alarcon joins them. For UST, you have Pangilinan, Padrigao, Caballero, Lemit, and Crisostomo. So some changes for both teams. Caballero slips. Ball picked up by Alarcon. They're off to the races. And there's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul called in the first 30 seconds of the third quarter.
See, that's it. This is it right here. You can't be too relaxed against the UP defense. And like you mentioned, an unsportsmanlike call in this fast break situation. You see here, a pass to QMB inside. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Padrigao pulling on the jersey of QMB, trying to prevent him from getting that ball.
And this is where your awareness, the mental part of the game comes in. KFC, it's finger licking good. As QMB misses the first, there's no time for those types of fouls because it gives your opponent a chance to gain momentum.
And again, like I mentioned a while ago, against UP, that's tough because USC, again, right off the bat, first possession on this third quarter, a turnover was made. And then an unsportsmanlike foul to give them 2 shots plus possession. QMB knocking the first one down.
And UP maintains possession as we get this report from Cheska Ramos for UP. Cheska?
Simple decisions, talk, communicate, and mental discipline. This is what Coach Gold reminded the team earlier in the halftime for them to stay composed in this tightly contested game. The team is focusing on the next play mindset as they're working hard to execute their plays under pressure, while their defense remains a key in holding the Groundling Tigers off and not letting them have second chance balls. The Fighting Maroons are determined to fight until the final buzzer. For the UP, the fight is far from over. Watch this game on any device in the Philippines or abroad on the Pilipinas Live app. Download and subscribe now. Now back to you, Dip and Jet.
Thank you, Cheska, for that report. Well, Jet, my question to you is, how do you stay mentally disciplined as Sportsky Padrigao makes up for that foul a while ago and knocks down the triple? This 3-point shot is brought to you by Yamaha Mio Gear. Play your tough.
You can't get deep, down with mistakes that you made. That's like Padrigao showed there. A sportsmanlike foul. Next play mentality.
Lopez leaning in. That rims out. Abadiano. That shot deflected, but it stays with the Fighting Maroons. And a chance to send it to Jersey Zulueta for UST. Jersey.
Dip and Jet, the last time the Groundling Tigers faced off with the UP Fighting Maroons, Coach Pido Harencio had one question to the team. Are you with UST? This was a call for togetherness that today the Groundling Tigers exhibited. Now back to the basics, and sticking to the fundamentals was now emphasized to the team in the dugout, with special instructions for our playmakers to, in his words, create for our shooter, highlighting the need to improve ball movement and eliminating second chance points. Watch this game on any device in the Philippines or abroad on the Filipinas Live app. Download and subscribe. Now back to you, Dip and Jet.
Thank you, Chersey, for that report. Well, that's what UST is doing right now, sticking to their basics, the fundamentals, which has worked well for them in this game.
I mean, they have to. In that play, you see UP and their defense with Francis Lopez getting that block.
Crisostomo continues his streak here in the second half, and he's feeling it. He's got 10 points in total. Our PS Bankable Assist of the Half, ibang klaseng assist to boost your business with PS Bank SME Loan. Apply at any PS Bank branch.
Crisostomo has been that guy to keep UST afloat offensively. After that 3, getting their lead up to 6. You know, fun fact from, of course, Pong Ducanes, our Sultan of Stats. UST is 5-2 this season when leading at halftime. Let's see if they can keep that up in this ball game in the Final Four against UP.
We're going to be keeping track of that, if they will improve that track record. KFC, it's finger licking good. Lopez, meanwhile, leads all UP scorers, gets both free throws, and he has a total of 10, just like Crisostomo for UST. Lopez has been, or is averaging 17.5 points per game when matched up against UST. Padrigao feeling it. This time it's short. Lopez corrals the board. They go up ahead. Alarcon goes all the way for 2. Hoops All-Pro play is brought to you by Puma. The lead down to 2 points.
And USC opting to go to the post where they found success a while ago.
Lemit missing on that 3. UP getting back-to-back stops. And they tie this game up or even take the lead. Alarcon thought about it, goes closer. Oh, that's his favorite shot. Harold Alarcon tying this game up at 40 all.
Harold Alarcon with the shot of the game. Fake spin fadeaway. I'm going to call it Kobe.
7 minutes left in the third. And this start of the third quarter has been full of action. Bounce forward with this rebound from AIA. AIA with you wherever life goes.
It's Harold Alarcon. Jab step, fake spin, fadeaway, Kobe-esque.
This play of the quarter is brought to you by Farmaran Energy Plus, powered by ginseng and 40 multivitamins to boost your energy. He's been wanting to get consistent on his jumper, talking about Harold Alarcon, and he's done well throughout the years.
This ball game now tied up. They're all tied up. You see that the 5 on the floor for both teams. More veteran experience than anything else. But this guy, Jello Crisostomo, coming off the bench, 10 points, boosting his team's offense.
Padrigao couldn't connect. And a chance for UP to take the lead here in the third quarter. Kagulangan, cross, kick out, Lopez all day. In and out. Oh, UP crowd ready to erupt. Tongkara snatched by Alarcon. Harold again loses the handle. And back the other way we go.
Back and forth action. They're trying to get Cabanero on the post.
Lemit fakes. Still a lot of time left on the shot clock, but he wants to hurry, and he finds a way.
What a shot by Lemit.
That is our KFC bucket of the quarter. KFC, it's finger licking good. And Fortea says it's time for some Treyas.
You know, back and forth, the offense of both these teams catching fire now at this point of the third quarter.
UP up by 1. Oh, and Nick Cabanero called for the offensive foul. That will be his 4th.
That is a huge foul against Nick Cabanero against UST. You have to credit the defense of Harold Alarcon. Scouting, knowing the tendencies of Nick Cabanero, driving left, anticipating the bump with his right shoulder, and selling that charging call.
No, they played with fire a while ago in the first half, kept him in. But this time they take him out. Paranada checks in, who has delivered off the bench. Torres wants to join from the outside, and he connects.
That's just a great setup play for UP and JD Cagulangan, finding his shooter of 2 stack screens. Raylan Torres with a game of his life, 10 points so far.
Oh, nice move from Christian Manaytay. Much needed basket for UST, just as UP is gaining momentum. Lopez. Oh, what a shot for Francis Lopez.
That was great defense by Manaytay, just keeping his hands up, staying in front. But Francis Lopez finding the basket nonetheless.
That's just better offense. Torres, by the way, his 10 points today is his season high. Chance of defense from the UP faithful. Diving on the floor. Oh, Cagulangan sacrificing his body. But there is a whistle against them. This play of the quarter is brought to you by Pharmadon Energy Plus, powered by ginseng and 40 multivitamins to boost your energy. And this is our Hyundai Stargazer. Let the future move you. Francis Lopez with a good-looking move and lead up by 4 for the Fighting Maroons.
Even though we have a heated game today, we love the camaraderie and the friendship. UP and UST share the love. No rivalry, just a perfect blend. This is brought to you by McCafe.
Back inside the Big Dome for the resumption of the third quarter with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here. UP up by 4 after being down by 2 in the first half. There's a foul on that play before the attempt of Paranada.
You see the out of bounds or after timeout play. Coach Pido trying to get QMB off a lot of screens. And Manaytay taking advantage of that play.
Padrigao will inbound from the baseline. They go to Tongkara. With 10 to shoot for UST, Tongkara drives baseline. Looking for an open teammate. They go to Asido. 5 to shoot. Padrigao puts up a 3. Off to the right. Tapped out. It ends up with Dennis Fortea. Fortea not wasting any time. Too strong off to the left. Paranada will wisely slow things down. Engineer the offense. Asido. Oh, thought about the shot before even making that play happen. Cagulangan passes to Lopez. Oh, deflected by Tongkara. But Fortea was there for the cleanup.
This is where UP is dangerous. They're getting a lot of possession of empty shots by UST. And if they can keep this going, they're going to end up with a lot more points.
And UP back with their biggest lead of the game at 6. They led earlier, 27-21. As we take a look at this last play. Bounce forward with a rebound from AIA. AIA with you wherever life goes.
Tongkara got the block, but no help for rebounding that ball. And Fortea just quicker to the spot.
We see...
Oh, UST versus UP. You see that? That's Renzo Subido. And I don't know who the other guy is. I think he looks like Diego Dario, one of my former teammates that did not know how to play point guard when he was teammates with me. But of course now PBA champion, point guard for the Meralco Bolts.
And those guys part of our broadcast team here in the UAAP. Init ng laro. Cool ka lang with Sprite. I'm sure Both UST and UP remember Renzo Subido with that shot from season 82.
Oh, painful. A painful shot by Renzo Subido for the UP fans. Now calling games, like you mentioned, part of our panel. Diego Dario, same.
From heartbreaker, heartthrob na lang daw siya.
Oo nga. Ganun na lang.
Much like my partner.
Oh, man.
Ganun na lang kasi yung
Wala
Final
na.
Four, di masyado makarelate, di ba sabi mo?
Wala na, okay. Wala, I don't know. You know, I watched a lot of Final Four games when UP was playing and UST. But now I'm calling a Final Four game.
Yep. And then you can feel the atmosphere when the cheers are being played and shouted by both schools. You know it's the Final Four.
Oh. Look, Udodu on the tap there, but Tongkara with only 2 points so far in this game. You have to be impressed by how UP has planned to play against him. Multiple players. Francis Lopez was taking him on one-on-one, forcing him outside of his usual comfort spots.
And Tongkara only has 2 points in this game. He was the leading scorer for UST as shot clock is winding down. They run out of time. And unable to get an attempt before the shot clock expired.
You see there again, Mo Tongkara. In that play, he caught the ball deep in the paint. But the moment he touched the ball, swarmed by UP.
Cici Rondina and Ea Laure of the UST, or formerly of the UST Grownling Tigers, now in the PVL. Torres.
UP now with a 16-4 run. Oh, make it 19-4 run.
Raylan Torres making it rain here in the third. And the lead up to 9 points for the Fighting Maroons. UST called or forced to call a timeout as they are down by 9. Back inside the big dome. More people joining us in the venue. Kanina may Nissan Cup man, meron din tayong chair for mascot.
Well, a lot of people in attendance. You see what color he's wearing.
UST trailing by 9. They were up by 2 a while ago to start the second half. Thanks to Raylan Torres of UP, they're now up. 2 triples. Season high 13 points for Torres.
There's going to be a crucial step, a crucial part of the game for UST. They can stave off this run by UP. Oh.
And JD Cagulangan drops the jumper.
That's double digit now for the lead of UP.
Oh, he was quiet before that basket. JD Cagulangan, that was his first 2 points earlier.
You see Raylan Torres with his second 3 of the game. A huge 3 for him.
Here's our Chicken Joy's fans of the corner, brought to you by Jollibee Chicken Joy. That shot bringing so much joy to the UP crowd. And look at his numbers.
In season average, 4 points per game. But right now, he scored 13 points, 3 out of 3 from 3-point land, 4 out of 5 from 2.
And he is embracing the moment. Almost got the steal. Cabanero threw it up. But he is holding on to his right knee after that attempt.
Oh, wow. It is a tough look for UST. You know, the coaching staff opting to send him back in, even with 4 fouls, out of desperation, because they don't want or they can't have the lead of UP grow even further. That play, drawing the foul, hurting himself in the process.
Cabanero, helped up by his teammates, shakes it off, trying to walk it and see how it feels. Let's take a look at what happened there.
Oh, there it is. The right knee of Belmonte backing into his knee.
Init ng laro, full ka lang with Sprite. It was a knee-to-knee collision, but Cabanero is okay. gets the first free throw to drop for his 5th point of the game. And UST looking for someone to spearhead the charge here in the 3rd quarter.
They're going to need a spark after giving 21 points to UP.
KFC, its finger licking good. And Kagulangan missing the lane. Lucky break for UST. They forgot about JD. Padrigao splits the D. There's a foul called on UP.
And that's penalty now for UP. 2 free throws for Padrigao.
And this is what you want if you're UST. Break the run, get these stops, and slow down the fast pace of UP. They've been running and gunning this entire 3rd quarter.
Well, we talked about this big 3rd quarter. That's a danger if you're up against UP. That's exactly what UP did. UST, we pointed out how they got that lead. They had only 3 turnovers in that whole first half. Right now, they already have 9, so that's 6 in this quarter alone. Against UP, you can't do that. They're going to run and create offensive opportunities. 22 points now for UP this quarter with UST's 11.
As you mentioned, UP is the #1 in terms of steals and forcing turnovers. They've completely turned it around here in the 3rd quarter. Padrigao trying to look for his shot, has struggled as of late. Gets it back, Fortsky for 3. It's a miss, Tongkara with the rebound. And basket is good, plus the foul for Mo Tongkara.
That's big for Mo Tongkara. They're going to need him to contribute offensively. Him and Cabanero in this play. Look, getting their offensive rebound and laying that one in, drawing the contact. Huge shot for Mo Tongkara.
In 5 minutes of play or less than 5 minutes of play for Decachi Ododo, he commits his 4th personal foul. Francis Lopez checks back in. Mo Tongkara scored 21 points in round 1 against UP, 24 in round 2. He's been limited in this game.
And these free throws are hurting them. 5 of 14 so far for UST. They're going to need to knock more down.
Yeah.
They're getting to the line, but they can't knock them down.
Only 4 points for Tongkara in this game. 8 seconds on the shot clock for UP. Felicilda kicks it out. Lopez has space. Doesn't get it. Tongkara secures the rebound. And it goes to the side of UST.
That's a good stop. You can see, obviously, UST opting to give Francis Lopez that outside 3-point shot instead of him driving inside.
Tongkara has possession. Approached by Lopez. He wants to attack, kicks it out. Crisostomo has been steady in that range.
Big shot by Crisostomo there, but good drive and kick. Mo Tongkara doing more than just scoring points. 12 points so far.
Now realizing that his shot isn't dropping, feeding it to his teammate. 5-point lead for UP. Alarcon, no foul called, but gets the basket anyway. On that tough shot. Ball stays with the Grownling Tigers as the shot clock is off.
Notice move. Stepping back, getting the man in his air, drawing contact. No call though, but knocking it in nonetheless. How many buckets can you create?
Could be last shot time here for UST with just 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd. Estacio, a sea of white shirts. Crisostomo, that's short. 5 seconds left. UP has it. Alarcon puts up a 3. And back rims it. As we end the 3rd quarter, the UP Fighting Maroons outscoring the UST Grownling Tigers by 9 here in the 3rd as they head into the 4th with a 7-point advantage. Score is 57-50. This play is brought to you by Motolite Pangmatagalan. We have to show that again from Harold Alarcon. That highlight play. And we'll give you the fourth and final right after this.
Start of the fourth quarter.
Fourth and final quarter underway here inside the Big Dome between the UP Fighting Maroons and the UST Grownling Tigers. Jet, you said it earlier, as Harold Alarcon gets the first basket of the fourth. Third quarter will be crucial.
I mean, you see it here. First and second quarter, UST getting the advantage incoming that first half. Third quarter, though, 24 points with a 21-4 run for UP. You know, Dip, we mentioned a while ago the odds of UST after that half. They were 5-2.
Yep.
You know, from Pongdocanes after leading in the half. But now UP perfect, 10-0 this season when leading after 3 quarters. Welcome to the Final Four, ladies and gentlemen.
So, which record will stick? That is the question. As we play the final 10 minutes, Harold Alarcon is feeling it.
He's feeling it. He's feeling what he felt that last game. And I still believe he did not take a shower after knocking down those 2
You know
shots.
what? I'm starting to think you're right. He's on fire. Asido, partially deflected. QMB on the break. Tapped away by Asido. And it stays with the Fighting Maroons. This play of the quarter is brought to you by Pharmadon Energy Plus, powered by ginseng and 40 multivitamins to boost your energy.
That's not the typical ankle breaker that we see. And in that play, good job by QMB. Setting a solid screen to get his teammate open.
1 minute gone by in the fourth. As we get this report from Chelsea Zulueta from UST. Chelsea?
Dip and Jet, staying composed and building on that communication is one of the biggest lessons that Angelo Crisostomo brought with him from the last season. And now in the Final Four, it's now or never that they show what it truly means to play UST basketball. And actually, during the recent timeout, Coach Juno Sauler wrote on their board, "Stay composed" in big letters. Now with the words "matagal pa ang laban" echoing the sidelines, the Tigers are more fired up than ever. Continue to watch all the action here in the UAAP because legends start here. Now back to you, Dip and Jet.
Thank you, Chelsea, for that report. Well, it's now or never indeed for the Grownling Tigers. They don't have another game if they go on to lose this one. Caballero knows it and gets the jumper. UP, they've been going to Alarcon as of late. Pilisilda, the cross, the feed. QMB finds a way to put it up. And he is fouled by Jello Crisostomo. As QMB will head to the line for 2. This smart move is brought to you by Smart.
I mean, you see Caballero just carving his way in. Getting that his defender in the air and just knocking that one down easy. If you're Nick Caballero. Difficult for everybody else.
Well, the foul trouble just hurting the Grownling Tigers. Crisostomo also picking up his 4th, which is why Manaytay is fielded in right away. QMB misses the first as we get the support from Cheska Ramos for UP. Cheska?
Dip and Jet, Harold Alarcon, who had a career high of 33 points in their last game and who is now continuing that same effort in today's ball game, shared with me how he has grown as a leader for the UP Fighting Maroons. As he told me, nung rookie ako, every time I see my kuyas doing something good or may sinasabi sa akin na makakatulong for me and for the team, pinafollow ko. With the guidance of veteran teammates and his own experiences, Harold discovered the leader within him. As he shared, discover ko yung leader in me. That's why now, pinapas ko na lang din siya sa new teammates ko. Now, Harold leads by example, passing the lessons he's learned to the next generations of Fighting Maroons. Thank you to Skechers, the official broadcast here of the UAAP Season 87 Men's Basketball. Now back to you, Dip and Jet.
Thank you, Cheska, for that report. Well, one thing for sure, Harold Alarcon is locked in as Kagulangan. That one almost went in. UST down by 8. Caballero attacks, slips and slides, and will draw a foul on this way up.
He's going to keep going to the line and keep getting contact down inside.
Let's bounce forward with this rebound from AIA. AIA with you wherever life goes.
You see the lineup on the floor for UST. Padrigao, Caballero, Manaytay, Tongkara, and now Paranada stepping in. I think this is the most offensive lineup for UST.
KFC, its finger licking good. Coach Pido Harencio zoning in on his scorers. Harold Alarcon turning it on here in the second half.
10 points in this second half. And we've seen a fury of moves from him.
They cut the lead down to just 6 after those 2 free throws by Nick Caballero. Kagulangan backing down against Paranada. JD fires it. No. I thought he was going to shoot. Decided to pass it to Lopez. And Francis wasn't looking.
They faked everybody, including us, with that pass. Not a good turnover for UP, but they still have that 6-point lead.
Some life on the side of the UST Grownling Tigers. Still 7 minutes remaining in the fourth. Padrigao goes inside. The scoop to the hoop. And the lead down to just 4. Our KFC bucket of the quarter. KFC, its finger licking good. And Kagulangan answers back with that basket for UP. He's got 4.
So offensive rebounding. What a pass.
Oh, Manaytay has all day. Doesn't get it. Then a tap out by Lopez. Here come the Fighting Maroons. JD pulls back. Calls the play. And goes to their leading scorer, Harold Alarcon. Alarcon, jumper on the way, is good!
Too soft. Too soft to show by Manaytay off that pick and roll. Giving Alarcon that much space for that midi.
Oh, check that. Now he's the leading scorer. A while ago, it was Torres with 13. Alarcon has 14 after that made basket. Tongkara. Not the shot you want if you're Coach Pido. And JD on the floater. Doesn't get it. Manaytay. Paranada. Goes for a 3. Why not? Why not, says Kyle Paranada. I've been hot in this game. This 3-point shot is brought to you by Yamaha Mio Gear. Play your tough on his first Final Four game. Paranada is playing big. UST down by just 5.
From this side of the room, perfect. That was the Oreo Bestie Cam.
Five minutes, 29 seconds remaining in the fourth. UP on their 6th straight Final Four appearance. Gunning for their 4th straight finals appearance if they go on to win this game and hold on. They're up by 5. That's a travel for QMB.
Oh, inches. Inches from making that one. He's failed to catch that ball, but Kyle Paranada on fire in this ball game.
Here's our Chicken Joy's fans of the quarter, brought to you by Jollibee Chicken Joy. UST, they were up by 2 a while ago at the end of the first half.
Oh,
They're still within distance, but Caballero couldn't get anything there.
what a block by QMB.
They give it back. Alarcon, two-man game with JD. And lots of time left on the shot clock. Harold realizes it, puts it up, and another basket for Harold Alarcon.
How?
This play of the game is brought to you by Nissan Cup Noodles, the official cup noodles of the UAAP men's basketball.
How does he get these buckets to go down?
Manaytay uncorks, it's short. Shot clock did not reset. Crisostomo had to put it up. And rebound by QMB. UP will slow things down as they're up by 7.
This is a risk for UST with their lineup on the floor. Interesting selection by Coach Pido. Small lineup, no Tongkara, no Padrigao in.
Kagulangan, short. There's a foul on the rebound play by Mark Lemit. It looks like it will be called.
Number 2, Raylan Torres.
Either Raylan or Udodo.
Groundling Tigers.
Init ng laro, full ka lang with Sprite.
See that battle for the rebound. Lemit falling on the floor. You know, this is winning time
Yeah.
for UP, and this is catch-up time for UST with 4 minutes left on the clock. Their season is on the line.
And Tongkara is getting ready to check in. You mentioned they're playing without him, but Coach Pido will put him in the court for the final 3 and 49. His output though tonight has been well, pretty low compared to his season average.
You got to credit the defense of UP against Mo Tongkara. How they've planned, schemed against him. Every time he gets the ball on the post just like this. Francis Lopez is on him, and the weak side is that 7-foot giant in QMB, forcing Tongkara to take shots just like this.
That was a contested shot, and Lopez just doing a good job of sticking with his man. Lead stays at 7. Villora Brown hands it off to Alarcon, who's been the main man. Oh, and the Forsky Padrigao on that collision with QMB. Remember, he already has an unsportsmanlike foul a while ago, and they will take a look at this.
QMB off that handoff, trying to give a set of screen against Padrigao.
There's an elbow to the gut. Init ng laro, full ka lang with Sprite. And that led to Villora Brown falling down. He was on the ground, holding on to his midsection. Oh, that is big. And the officials call it an unsportsmanlike foul on Forsky Padrigao, who heads
That's his
to
second.
the dugout.
That's his second unsportsmanlike foul.
The only guy,
That's the second infraction.
aside from Mix Pangilinan, who has championship experience. He's won a championship here in the UAAP, and he is out of the game with 2 unsportsmanlike fouls, and UST
for Port Padrigao.
will be left without him.
That's a big loss if you're UST. Like you mentioned, he's the only guy with finals experience in the UST bench. As a point guard, you need someone that knows how to handle the rock. And we know how big Padrigao has been for UST throughout the season. Losing him this stretch of the game, with this close of a game, it's just a big loss for UST.
And his teammates only have good things to say about his play. Ever since he entered, UST has been a huge effect and a great addition to the team. a true leader, court general, but he will not be playing the final 3 minutes and 24. It's up to his teammates to get this game and hopefully force a game 2.
Well, you have to mention if UST comes out to win, as CQMB make this free throw.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
They're gonna, if this call stays and he got ejected, they're gonna miss his presence because he's not gonna be able to play the game against
right.
UP if they force a game 2.
And that's what we were saying about keeping your head in the game and just being mentally disciplined. Those fouls will get you out of the game. And it's a 9-point lead for UP. Kagulangan intercepted by Asido. Paranada ahead to Manaytay. Christian going for the reverse. Blocked by QMB.
2 huge blocks by QMB this quarter.
And Lopez skying high for that lay-in.
At UST Grownling Tigers.
And a double-digit lead for the UP Fighting Maroons. That is our PS Bankable assist of the half. Get an assist that you don't want to miss. Auto loan decision in just 24 hours. Apply na. Timeout, UST.
Get ready to rally behind your school because it's time for the Nissin Competition Leaderboard Update. Nissin Cup Noodles is giving away 500,000 cash prize to the university with the highest votes across raffle entries. Purchase any Nissin Competition pack to vote for your school and even score a chance to win 4 days, 3 nights trip to Japan for 2. Head on to thenissincompetition.com.ph to join.
This play a while ago, the feed by Kagulangan to Raylan Torres. Just one of his triples in this game. Our PS Bankable moment of the game. Make your moment happen in just 1 day. Apply for your dream home with PS Bank Home Load. UST with under 3 minutes remaining to try and come up with something. Manaytay puts up a 3 and gets it.
Huge 3-point shot by Manaytay, not letting his team fall even deeper.
10 points for the graduating player. He does not want this season to end for him and his teammates. But Lopez will want to answer back. Way off the mark. Outlet pass to Tongara. Touchdown.
What a pass by Kyle Paranada.
Hoops All-Pro Play is brought to you by Puma. PS Bank, last 2 minutes, get a free savings account in just minutes. Download PS Bank Mobile to open an account. Oh, a quick pass by Alarcon to QMB. No foul. Turnover for the Fighting Maroons. And it will be UST possession.
QMB asking for a foul there. But before this, Manaytay not allowing his team to end this season. And Kyle Paranada just finding Mo Tongkara all the way from downtown.
Court vision for Paranada, who has to take on the role of Padrigao now. Caballero, UST down by 6. Shot clock winding down. 6 to shoot. Caballero too strong, and QMB grabs his 19th rebound of the game.
Big possession after big possession.
JD 1-on-1 against Paranada. Looks at the clock. 5 to shoot. Kagulangan long 2-pointer.
Baka.
And JD Kagulangan puts UP back up by 8 with his biggest shot of the game so far. Timeout for UST. Mr. Miko Halili, head of sports content for Signal TV, alongside Teniente L.A. Tenorio. And our commissioners, Marvin Bienvenida, Javi Nunag, and of course, Attorney Rebo Sagisag, CJ Cancino.
Legend to the game.
Knows how it feels to play for both teams. Manaytay in and out. Oh, they needed that to fall.
That was a big, big chance by UST.
As we bounce forward with this rebound from AIA. AIA with you wherever life goes. What would you make of that shot, Jet, by Manaytay on that attempt?
That was a good shot. Perfect shot for Manaytay going to their hot shooter. Si JD Kagulangan, though, with his numbers, not the biggest, not the most impressive, but he's got the last dagger so far for UB.
The magnitude of those baskets. The pass by Lopez to QMB. And that could just seal this one. This play is brought to you by Skechers. A double-digit lead for the Fighting Maroons. Kagulangan gives up a foul.
And JD Kagulangan, we talked about him and how much of a star he is for UP. But he took on that moment when UP needed to seal the deal. And he knocked down the biggest shot. Oh!
Nick Cabanero says otherwise. This is far from over, he says. As he cuts the lead down to 7, UP will call for time. UST Grownling Tigers trailing by 7. They need to bring out everything they've got in these final seconds.
Well, when the moment called for a hero, you know, two guys have risen to the occasion. JD Kagulangan knocking a huge two-point shot. Nick Cabanero knocking a huge three-point shot. But UST still down, needing a stop, needing something of a miracle to come back and keep their season alive. UP, however, looking to seal this one off. Now UST is opting to use up all of their fouls and send UP to the line and hope that they miss their free throws.
They're going to play that game. Use up their fouls, as you mentioned. Test the Fighting Maroons at the charity stripe, where as a team, they've shot decently at 16 out of 24 for 67%. They find Lopez. Tonkara gives up the foul. And Francis Lopez has a chance to ice this game. And he is shooting below 50% at the free throw line. So let's see how he will do here. Oh, calmly sinks that one.
Two big free throws. Throw all the percentages out the door when you're in the Final Four. And Francis Lopez has been big this game. 15 points, 6 rebounds. Started the game well, was consistent all throughout. And now has an opportunity to knock down 2 big free throws for his team.
Nothing bigger than that to put UP up by 9. Time not on the side of the Grownling Tigers. Paranada in a hurry. Manaytay, step back 3. Good line but short. Tonkara unable to save. And UST, their season in danger of coming to an end. This inspiring run of getting back into the Final Four after 5 years in their rebuilding phase.
There it is, Coach Bido heading to the UP bench, congratulating the coaching staff of UP.
And Coach Goldwyn Monteverde and the UP Fighting Maroons are on their way back to the finals for the 4th straight time. Their 5th in the last 6 seasons. They get the job done. They only needed 1 game to put this away.
And the way they put this away, the way they earned their win against UST. UST fought, clawed, roared, leading in the first half. The second half, battling against a UP run. But in the end, the experience of UP rising above UST and their effort to get this win.
This play is brought to you by Motolite Pangmatagalan. JD with that biggest shot of the game. As you mentioned, not a lot of points, but the gravity of his baskets, just enough to put UP up and on top. 78-69 is the final score.